anything else that you decide that you might wanna ask or?
All right, so retirement is what though? Like what age is retirement?
When you get there, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like what
Now?
age? What age? Like they got it? It's like now.
Now, I think 65, isn't it?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 65.
You feel like 65 is reasonable
For what?
for retiring? Like you don't think it should be a
I
little
don't.
earlier than that?
Yeah, most definitely. Let me wait. Ridiculous.
Of course. You don't want to wait until that's back to what I was saying again is that you get people out there and say, okay, well, I want to wait until I start living life, so to speak, when I retire. It's like, why you got to
Well,
wait?
I'm just saying because there's also the limits of the government, like that kind of like don't allow you to do certain things. Like I don't agree that that's early. That's bullshit. But like that was chiming off what I was saying earlier. Like they have a system into how they do things, so they do that intentionally on purpose for you, so that when you are retired, you don't have the energy anymore to have that fun. Like I retire whenever I want, exactly. But
I feel like
those rules and regulations
it's like a
are.
sponge in a way. They
Yeah.
drain you all out.
Okay,
then it's like
that's
oh
precisely
yeah, we had
the
enough.
point. That's the
No, just-
precise
okay.
point. But Rick's right. You should be able to. It's honestly all back to your mindset. You have to like get out of your
100%.
ego. You have to get out of your ego and build and create yourself your own reality outside of this, so that you can start heading towards those steps to do what he is talking about, regardless of what anybody says. Like you are in control. You are in control of yourself in your own time.
The more you give yourself separation between your mind and your body, the better you become. Because now you start to think straight. You're not starting to be in this limited mindset. And what's keeping you in the limited mindset is your mind and the body. You just keep repeating the data that you already know. It's like you're recycling it. And that's that limited mindset. You want to think above that. You want to get over that. And that is one of the ways that you do it. You got to give yourself some space.
Yeah.
So you can start thinking above any and everything else. If that makes sense.
I got another thing.
Wait, before you say that, I want to add one more thing.
Here comes the questions.
Yes.
What are you doing with my water over there? Go ahead.
I think people need to also keep in mind of leveling out and evening out as much as they can their mind and their heart, because they really need to freaking get over their feelings of that fear of like not being able to do certain things that are limiting them. Hence the limited mindset. Hence the limited mindset. If your emotions are all over the place and you're too practical and logical and maybe too over motivated or something like that, it's not gonna have a balance yet until you work on this as well, and vice versa. It has to be the mind and the body and the spirit. What he's talking about are these two that are supposed to come together and be balanced. If one's too high, you're not gonna be able to get to where you want to go. You gotta level them out and ground yourself, like how he grounds himself with his nakshatras, like our chakra points. Take your shoes off, you ground yourself with your feet, to kind of rejuvenate yourself and realign yourself, your spinal cord, your kundalini. So it's like these two have to match for it to come together, for things to happen for you, the energy.
But
like taking that excess load off.
But for someone who's don't understand it in that terms,
They wouldn't know.
I think the best thing to do, we were talking about before, go take walks,
that
walk
would
on
be
the beach,
a part
things
of
like
leveling
that.
your
Yeah.
emotions. That heals the heart chakra as well. That's still
Doing
saying
other
what
things
I'm
like
saying.
that, yeah.
It's working on your
without
emotions.
without trying to know so much details. Just those simple things to be the surface level of
I'm a
doing it.
storyteller. You say it straightforward, and that's the way that I explain it.
All right,
Yeah.
how about this? I'm not throwing shade at anybody, but say I feel like 90% of people have a limited mindset. The reason why I say that is because everybody's so focused on, working for somebody, like, well, I'm gonna get this good job here, good job there. They pay a lot of money, right? But nobody thinking about working for themselves. Everybody just based on, I'm getting this job, but nobody thinking about.
Well, money hungry.
Yeah, but that's the whole topic of discussion today is the limited mindset. It goes back to that limited mindset once again.
Really sad.
you're not giving yourself any space between, again, like I say, the mind and the body, because if you're not giving yourself space, then you can't think. You can't function well because you just want to just be lazy when it comes down to thinking. I'm just want to just do.
And we've
what
been
everybody
intentionally trained that way.
Yeah.
So now we have to undo that because that wasn't
Yeah.
our fault or problem to begin with. We've been intentionally
yeah.
trained that way. Now we have to
school and
unwire.
everything.
Yeah.
It's the way. It's the way.
It's-
That's why I said that it takes discipline. It's not something that's going to be
And awareness.
a instant gratification. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's not something that's just going to happen overnight. And also too, I was saying is that you're going to have to understand that don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be easy. It's not something
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you're
agree.
going to pick up and just go run with it. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time, and it definitely takes discipline. And when discipline is there, there's the awareness. I mean, all that plays a part, but you definitely have to put the time in. It's like anything else. If you want something really bad, you're going to work hard at it. So let
And
that be
it's
it.
so funny, and I find it so ironic how, like, with delusional people, like Delulu people, like they're really good at that. Or killers, they have their mind set on like killing only all the blondes and all that stuff, and they're determined and excessive and all that stuff and consistent until they reach their goal. Like no matter
Yeah.
if it's a crazy person or Hitler, how he was just like trying to. His goal was to like find all the artifacts. If they can do that, what the hell? We got no excuse to be able to do that for us positively for ourselves. What the hell is going
Yeah.
on? It's crazy.
They say what the mind could achieve and believe, it could conceive. So whatever you put your mind to,
Yeah.
what you think and how you feel is creating all this. So bottom line is your world. You do what you want. You're the creator of it. And try to do the best that you can at doing so. But for you to do that, you have to get out of the limited mindset. And I think it's not something, once again, that's going to happen overnight, and it's not something that's going to be, it's a lifetime commitment. You have to keep working on it. You have to keep, going to the gym in the mind. You
Yeah,
have
you
to
gotta
keep
keep
strength.
that.
You got to keep strengthening the mind. Just like you going working out, you got to keep strengthening the mind, because
Way before the physical.
it's a lot of contrast that's going on out here. And there's a lot of things that will take you off your path. So you got to keep pumping that iron in the mind. You know what I mean? Mentally, you got to keep pumping that iron, and eventually you're gonna get where you got to go. But everybody is responsible, and I think everybody can do it. It just take consistency. You have
And
to
some
really
people,
have
I
to
think,
be
I
there.
think everybody's capable of doing it, but
Yeah.
a lot of people die not doing it. But that's their loss. But
Yeah.
but they've learned some things in this life and stuff like that. But it's the lack of awareness that my people fall, or religiously, biblically. But and a lot of people don't realize too that God like literally means like generator, operator, and destroyer. Like you manipulate. It's alchemy. You manipulate how you want your life to be.
Yeah.
It's your life. You generate it, you can operate it, and you can destroy it in a good or bad sense. Destroy it to replenish it, to start a new one, to start over. Like how I left Cali and came here with nothing, and so I'm starting over still. It's been hard, but it's a process. And then, the bad aspect, destroying yourself, you know what I mean? And not being able to get back together.
So yeah, go ahead.
I feel like the spiritual thing. I feel like you can think like that because when I guess we in the land of the free. So I
Okay.
feel like if you were somewhere else, third world countries and stuff like that, I don't think you could think like that.
Actually, to the
Based on-
contrary,
Huh?
it's either or. It's to the contrary. But that's a good like a theory and observation too, because people outside the country, outside the U.S., are almost more spiritual in certain aspects, but they. Other people do just as crappy or worse things than people in the U.S. as well. Like, it's still that same mindset of, but the ley lines are different. That's why the ley lines, a lot of people don't know what ley lines are. It's kind of hard to explain, but this has been so much bloodshed on the U.S., and like they've hit us from so many things, but that's too deep for another time. But
Yeah.
outside of the states, like Mongolia and Africa, it's like they have so much more access to nature, and they've kept a little bit more of their traditions that the U.S. don't really kind of just hand over to us. Like, they're burning books now. So, you know what I'm saying? They're burning certain books that we're not able to read and stuff like that, certain things anymore. The U.S., you know what I mean? So it's a different type of, like, mindset and aspect out here in the U.S. There, they have other ways. They still look at the Chinese. You know, they're super in tune with superstitions and certain things that they believe that may come to fruition. It's just very interesting. U.S. is just another type of ball game. But
Oh, so
it's
they deeper
still not-
in it.
No, it's
They can be because of the culture. There's a lot of things that they, even though they don't have the same freedom as us, they haven't left they don't have like almost all the same societal structure that's been embedded in our brains. Like, I saw this TikTok video of like Africans that were like so shocked of our US textbooks because theirs is like, our textbooks has so much taken out, and the Africans have read ours and they're like, what? They're like, this like doesn't even make any sense. Like, you're supposed to take moringa for this, and like, you guys don't know that. And so that's like 1,000 times, you know, gonna make you better cognitive and be able to have you look younger and feel younger when you're older. And like, we don't know any of that stuff, but they still do over there because they have access to it. Like certain things like that. I'm not saying with everything, but just with certain things. Like, Africa's our homeland. They have a whole bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of rituals and practices that work and stuff like that that we have nothing, we don't know anything about. And we're from there. Like, we should be able to have access to this knowledge as well.
So we blind to it.
Yeah, well, we can be too.
we all have the principles is still the same, but it's just different desires, I guess, if you look at it that way. Because if you got someone that's in a third world country, of course, you don't know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. So,
but they're more, you don't know what you don't know, especially with like achieving certain things in business aspects and like with paperwork and stuff like that, and achievements like for like, I don't know, like getting like credit, like what's it called, like a certificate and stuff in bachelor's, but they're automatically almost more in tune with nature than we are.
Yeah, I agree. I was more so referring to maybe like the
Like
material
accolades?
things.
Yeah,
and,
materialistic.
And the other amirness of life, you know.
Yeah.
They not aware of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 'cause
And
they
they
don't
say
have
also too that the people in the third world countries are more happier than we are here.
Yeah, even like in poverty.
because-
They appreciate more, the little things more.
I think it's maybe the Buddhism say that they have a saying that goes something like cause of all suffering.
Couldn't be any more right than that.
Desire is the cause of all suffering. There you go.
It is, because even with a good desire, if you're overboard with it and you don't take breaks, and you know how they say in movies, like, oh man, like a sailor's wife, and they're like, oh, the sailor's sea is his first love. You gotta take a break from that too. That's his freaking whole world fishing and stuff like that, but you got a wife there. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with desires and stuff like that, you have to not be so obsessive over that. You gotta take breaks and kind of chill on that.
Because when you want something so bad,
You're willing to do anything to get it.
it hurts you. It's nothing hurts you more when you want something so bad. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to, whatever it is that you want, I want to conquer this. I want to have that. Mm-hmm. I think there's nothing more hurting than that.
Right,
because you
you
want
can't,
it so
you
bad.
can't, you're right. You
want it
can't
so
get
bad.
it, so it's like it's
It's a
you
desire
inside.
that you want that you can't have. So you're suffering because you can't have it.
Right.
And the reason why you can't have it is because you're not letting yourself be.
But that's not.
It's a limited
That's
mindset.
that's in a positive aspect of desires. There's a negative aspect of desires too.